Alright, good morning class. What I'm going to be doing today is walking you through a dissection of a kidney. So this is what we're going to be doing later on in class once you've completed learning all of the material online. Before we get into the dissection, we need to cover our safety routines first. So number one, get your lab coats on so that you're protecting your school uniforms. Get your safety goggles, put them on to protect your eyes from any splash or splatter. There shouldn't be any, but just in case. We then need to get gloves on because we're going to be handling the kidneys. So I'll get those ready and I'll put them on in just a moment. The other three things we need are 3 pieces of equipment. So we need tweezers, our pointer, and 1 scalpel. Okay, I'll go and get my kidney to begin the dissection. So here we have our kidney. This is a lamb's kidney, but it's not too dissimilar in size to our own kidneys. You can see immediately recognisable is that sort of deep reddish or kidney bean colour, and you can see that it has that distinct kidney bean shape. And if we look into the concave surface, we have this sort of white region. That's what we call the hilar region, and that's where the renal arteries, veins and ureter are going to enter and exit the kidney. Okay? When we're doing our cut, there's only one cut in a kidney dissection. It's fairly simple. We're going to do a longitudinal cross section. And what that means is I'm going to take my kidney, place it down this way so I have the convex surface up. I'm going to take my scalpel and we're going to be making a cut longitudinally. This, we're going to just start by making sort of stroking movements, stroking cuts along the kidney. Alright, so now you've done that, let's start at the outside. So the outside of the kidney is what we call the cortex. So the cortex is always the outermost part. And if you look closely, it has all these lines through it. It's what we call striated. We then have the medulla. The medulla is another word for middle. So it's this middle section from the inner part of the cortex to this section here. Now within the medulla you can see it's quite red, and at the top it's very deep red. That's because that's where most of our renal arteries are, and also where the nephron, okay, that functional unit of the kidney, most of our nephrons are located in this region here. We then move to the middle, and this white section we can see is the renal pelvis, okay? That's sort of where all the fluid will filter down into, and if we look closely we can see that there's a hole in the middle, okay? That's actually the opening to our ureter. Okay? So that's going to travel down to our bladder, where it's then going to travel out the urethra and leave the body as urine. Okay? 2 other structures of importance we have at the edges of the pelvis are major calyces, or major calyx. And if we look back, or look underneath, we can see that they split into smaller segments. These smaller segments are the minor calyces. The last thing I'll point out to you is these shapes within the medulla. These are the renal pyramids of the medulla. Alright, so now that we've completed our dissection of the kidney and located all the structures, I want you to look at the next arrow at the bottom of the screen and move on to our next section looking at the functions of these different structures.